What's up, guys? Welcome back to another upload on the channel. I just want to start off and say Happy New Year to all the subscribers here. I'm glad everybody's doing okay. Hopefully everybody's doing okay and everybody's staying safe and healthy. Happy 2022. We're back here in the garage here and we're gonna get this upload started. Before we start this upload, I just want to remind you guys, if you're not following my Instagram, follow the link below, and inside the description you will find the link to my Instagram and the name of my Instagram page. I am hosting my first giveaway of this year. It is a TRD Pro Grill that's gonna spice up the look of your Tacoma. If you're in the market or really want that nice black TRD Pro look with the amber light combination, I have one brand new in the box that's gonna become one of yours. Head over to my page and find the post, follow the directions, and good luck. So today on the channel, we're gonna be doing an upload on these awesome and cool design light brackets that are gonna go onto your Southern style off-road full tube bumper. So I'm gonna show you exactly what we're gonna be doing here and what we're gonna be moving around and how we're gonna be mounting these brackets and what they actually look like. This is an awesome idea that they came up with when they first came out with these bumpers and I first got my hands on one, and as you guys have been following the channel, you saw that I installed this bumper. I am very happy with it so far. I can't say anything bad about it. It's very good quality. Powder coat's lasting, and this is a great idea that they've designed to add more lighting options for the bottom of your bumper. All right, guys. So before I show you what the brackets actually look like and what you'll be expecting in the package, I'm going to show you what my plan is on mounting these brackets, and I'm gonna give you a rough idea where we're going to be actually mounting them. Now my idea is, now you guys are free to add on whatever lights you want to do. What I'm going to do is, just since these homemade brackets are kind of falling apart now for my fog lights, what I'm going to do is relocate these fogs, these Heretic Studio pods, down onto the bumper. So once we have the brackets on anyways, that'll eliminate this thing falling apart. These are just homemade. At the time, Heretic Studio didn't make the kit yet to mount their pods into the factory bumper. Now they have a kit. If you want to check out the link to that, that will be in the description as well. However, what the plan is, I'm going to be replacing this entire assembly, moving my fog lights down to mount on these new brackets that Southern Style Offroad has developed to work with your full plate tube bumpers. The holes are already there, so there's nothing to worry about. I'm going to show you exactly what holes we're going to be using, but the plan is I'm going to relocate my lights down to mount onto the bumper now. And what I actually picked up was these cool Toyota, the OEM Toyota Limited fog light bezels that'll kind of blank this out here. That way I can delete this and just move my light down. That way I have them on a nice bracket and a nice mount, and it'll look really cool down on the bumper here. So here's what you guys will be getting in the box. Here are your two brackets, left and right side. As tradition, this is very good quality brackets from Southern Style Offroad. The powder coat's very thick. These things are hefty, they're not going anywhere. Very good quality as always from them. You will be also included with this package is 4 bolts that you'll be mounting them to the bumper that you have. I recommend, here's what I recommend. It does not come with it, but get yourself a tap. This is a 3/8/16 tap that I'm gonna be using to retap the holes for these bolts, because if you're anything like me, and most of you have had your bumper on for a while, or regardless, this is a tap to retap the holes that we're gonna be using. I have a ton of mud and crud, bunch of stuff in these holes right here that you're gonna be using. All right, guys, so now to show you what actual holes we're gonna be using, because this is very important. The configuration can kind of seem confusing with the angles and stuff. So I kind of want to go over this exactly how they're gonna go on. That way you guys don't have any issue figuring this out. It's very simple. So we're on the driver's side of the truck now. And we're gonna come in here. As soon as you come underneath here, you're gonna see 2 holes that have threads in them. This first one, and also this second one that's in the back there. Those are the 2 holes we're gonna be using to mount the bracket. And the way the bracket is gonna mount is each bracket is specific to each side. These aren't labeled. However, it's pretty simple to figure out that they go like this, like a V-shaped. So this guy goes on here like that, and that's kind of what you want, in that configuration like that. And I'll have this better shown once they are mounted. Let's head over to the other side real quick. Okay, so here we are on the passenger side of the truck, and it's gonna be the same orientation, only the opposite on the passenger side. So you're gonna use the same two holes, this first one here, and then there's one behind this plastic shroud, at least on my truck. Up about right here is the second hole. So again, you're gonna be using these two holes, and the bracket is gonna go on kind of like this, holding this with one hand. And I'll show that better once it's on there. But first, before we do anything, even before I remove my fog lights to relocate them down, I'm going to run the tap through these holes to make sure that the threads are actually clean. That way we have no issue screwing those bolts in. So now we switched around here and we're gonna start tapping these holes. Kind of put this on fast forward. If you guys have never tapped the hole before, make sure you use some kind of a holder. I'm using a tap holder, a long one, extended one. However, for that last one, I might have to use an actual wrench flat to get on this because I don't have a shorter one. But you always use like some cutting fluid or some oil, put that on the tap. Always get your air or something ready to blow the hole out once you get all that crud out with the tap. Go in slow, come back out. It's just a fair game of just going in and out with the tap to make sure you get all that stuff out of your threads. That way the bolts go in nice and easy. All right, guys, so once you have these tapped, make sure you take a bolt and just see if you can thread it in very easily like I can there. That way you know that the bolt will go on once you try to put the bracket on very easily. That way you know you've tapped it good enough and the bolt will go right in and feel just like that. Now, some of you guys, anybody who's been running the bumper on their truck and they're just adding the brackets on, then I recommend tapping the holes. However, if you purchase one of these brand new, you do not have to tap these holes. I guarantee you they'll be clean. When you get the bumper in and you're just gonna add the brackets on, you'll be no problem without tapping the holes. But as far as for me, all the mud and the dirt and whatever else is in there, I could never get that bolt in without throwing a tap through the holes just to clean the threads that are in there. All right, so once you have your holes tapped, you can begin by whatever side you want to do. These are 14 mil bolts or 9/16 to work as well. I'm using a 14, and we're gonna put our brackets up and tighten these in. All right, guys, and one thing to note while I have these loose is that these holes are slotted. So once you put these brackets on, you have a little bit adjustability back and forth to adjust the bracket as need be. And then wherever you want, you can leave them loose for now until you mount your lights. That way you can adjust afterwards. Also with these brackets, there are 3 slots to mount your lights, and we'll go over that in a little bit. But you can decide whether you want to put your light on the outside, the middle, or towards the bulk of the bumper. That's totally up to you, but we'll go over that later when we actually mount my pods down here. But yeah, you can actually adjust these brackets because these holes are slotted to go back and forth on the vehicle, on the bumper. All right, so now that we have our brackets on, our holes are tapped, they're on loose, I'm gonna go ahead and dismantle my homemade, these are actually Cali raised bezels that I modified. I actually cut the brackets off and I modified them and I made an actual tin fixture that will hold the light in, which when I take this all apart, I'll show you exactly what I did. I know some of you guys were wondering how I made it, and I'm gonna show you once I get it out, but they sit recessed back. I know that Heretic Studio makes a kit to go in your stock bumper and to use their pod lights in stock configuration. I suggest just doing that, and they should sit a little bit recessed in. But yeah, these are actually homemade, and when I get them taken apart, I will show you guys what it looks like. You guys can see now that I have the bezel off, I actually drill the hole, which is actually how you mount these bezels anyways. You drill a hole through and mount it with a washer and a nut combination. However, on the bezel here, I actually removed the Cali raised bracketry that has them mount their lights to it. I actually grinded that down and removed it. But as you can see here, I made a tin kind of fixture, kind of assembly, and I actually screwed it in. It's really, really half done. It was just to get these on there and experiment, the kind of like a little prototype fixture that I made. But it held up all these months in this year, and I'm very happy with it. I screwed it in here, and once I get it out, I'll show you the actual shape of the homemade bracketry that I made. All right, here is the homemade atrocious mess that I made about a year ago. Literally just out of tin, and I bolted it to the back of the Heretic Studio pod, where the piece that they give you, the mounting piece, which I have to mount back on to mount in the configuration that we want now on the brackets, is going to go. So yeah, it's actually out of tin, thin tin, mounted the light to the tin, and fitted up in there, and actually screwed the whole assembly to here, and it held on for this long, and it actually did pretty damn good. No adjustment obviously for your fogs, but just to fill the space. And now we're going to correct all that and have a correct angle for our fogs. So I did some playing around, and I just want to note before we get into how I mounted these lights is that if you guys purchase these pods brand new, or any pod on the market of this nature from any brand, it'll be much easier for you to mount out of the box. You will be able to mount your lights right up into the slots on the bracket here, and there's 3 slots. Like I said, you can choose to mount your light closer to the bulk of the bumper, or out more, like I have mine on the last slot, the 3rd slot, all the way to the outside of the truck. Very easily, with using your bolts or the supplied hardware with the lights, you will mount it to these slotted holes in the bracket here. This is the first one, the second one, and my light is on the 3rd one. I had to do some modification, not really some modification, but I had to use brackets that I don't even think were for these lights, but they work. I just screwed one of these brackets onto the back of the light the same way I made my homemade bezel. I screwed that on, and what I did was just bolt it right up. And as you can see, it's held on by the L bracket very nicely. I haven't tightened it yet, but I just want to show you the adjustability. You can move this back and forth very easily to point the lights when you're done. That way you know what angle you want and what angle looks good to you. So yeah, that's how I mounted my Heretic Studio pods. Like I said, I just want to reiterate again, when you guys actually buy lights or newer lights, they will come with all the supplied hardware and bracketry on the light already that you just mount it easily right up there with a, whether it's a bolt in a nut combination or what have you. It'll mount very easily up onto the Southern Style Offroad brackets for your full tube bumper. Definitely an awesome look. I like it so far. I'm gonna snug it up, go to the other side, and see how I can get that one going. But very cool. It definitely fills in the side of the truck where the bumper is with the tube design. Fills that space in nice, makes it look very cool. So yeah, definitely stoked about this. I've been wanting to change the fog light situation for a while, as I said, and showing you guys that it was you know, half done, and I wanted to have something more professional. But I'm glad SSO came up with this. I thank them a lot for sending in these brackets. Again, check them out. I'll have these in the link below. So let's move on to the other side and get that other side done. And here's the passenger side of the truck. This is the homemade bracketry again. And this side actually looked a lot better when I did it. The other side kind of got screwed up one day really bad, and the shape of the tin kind of got screwed up, so I had to cut a piece off. But this is what it looked like on the passenger side. Obviously with the bezel in there, kind of like that. And the tin wrapped around really nice to make a nice shroud. Again, that was homemade, and now we're gonna move on to bigger and better things. All right, so we have both sides on, both sides mounted up. The next step you guys really wanna do, and it's up to you, is to make sure that the spacing from the middle of the bumper out to the light is the same on equal sides so it looks okay. And that's a process that you can do when you actually zone in your lights and set them up to spot exactly how you want. And I can't stress more that there's so much adjustability in these brackets. Like I said before, you can move the whole assembly in and out, forward and back, and as well as mounting your lights, you have the 3 slots, and in those slots you can move the lights left or right to exactly dial in and pinpoint what kind of beam you want to do. I think it looks great. Make sure that when you finish mounting your lights on your brackets, make sure everything works. Most of your kits for the Tacoma guys, all the lights will be plug and play into your factory fog light harness, so you won't have to be worrying about wiring anything, but still check it anyways to make sure that everything works. So that's what I'm going to do now. So there we are, the lights work as they should. Always want to make sure that the lights work when you put them on. Yeah, I'm very stoked about this. SSO makes some awesome products, and this was an awesome idea to put on the full tube bumper, guys. You guys got to get these accessories. And the last and final step for me anyways is I'm going to cap off my factory fog light holes on the bumper using these OEM Toyota Limited to Tacoma fog light bezels. So we're gonna pop these in and see how she looks. All right, guys, now it's the next day. We're out here to get a better look at the lights and how they look in the daylight. I'm gonna make this outro kind of short and quick. I think the feel like temperature right now up here in the Northeast is -7. So yeah, it's a bit frisky out here, if that's a good word to describe it. So let's take a good look at these. And here they are. Like I said, the adjustment is very well, placement is very good. I'm very happy with it. The adjustment is great. Like I said, mount everything loose and then tighten it all back up to where you would want. Alright guys, I want to close this video by saying thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. All you guys that are running that full tube bumper by SSO, check those brackets out. They are available on their website for pickup. Pick them up, add some more lights to your bumper, fill that nice space in. I hope this video helps with the installation. I want to also thank Southern Style Offroad for presenting me with those brackets to show to you guys and to show to the viewers. Definitely pick a set up. Thank you guys for sending those in. I love them. They look great on my truck. I also want to go into on the recent giveaway. Unfortunately, if you guys are following my Instagram, you have known the past few days there's been a fake scamming account that was copied in make of my profile in the wake of the giveaway. This is completely unacceptable. I am the real King Coma. That is my account. And behind me here is the actual grill, brand new in the box for one of you guys. I will choose and I'll send it out to you, all the directions in the post, and you can be entered to win that grill. So if you guys also can, please, I'm waiting for Instagram and whoever to take care of this issue. I've been trying and sending multiple reports into the scamming profile that was created in copy of impersonation of my account. Unfortunately, the process is taking longer than I really want to, but there's nothing I can do right now other than hopefully more of you guys report this this faulty profile and hopefully get shut down ASAP. But I just want to prove to you guys I am the real person in that account, and here's the grill right here in the box, brand new, ready to come home to one of you guys. So thanks guys again. Take a look at Southern Style Offroad. All the links are in the description, the bumper, the brackets, everything you guys are gonna need. Thanks guys, have a good one.